Moin Moin and welcome to Ralfs Foto-Bude and Ralfs Photo-Flight. After the unboxing of the DJI Inspire 1, we have the assembling today. Just to let you know, before we make the first flight, we have another videos. So in the next video I want to explain the control remote and the different functions of the switches and dials. And then I will make a video to the DJI Pilot app. There are a lot of functions to explain. Maybe I make two videos, one of the general functions and one of the photography functions, and then we can make our first flight. So yes, the DJI Inspire is a little bit more complicated than the Phantom or Q500. There are lots more things to obey before you start to your first flight. So today we make the assembly. Here we have the copter, we have the battery, then we have the gimbal, the charger, and important, the remote control, and then we have the 4 propellers. This one we don't need now because when we make our software update, and that's I want to show you also, then we have to remove the propellers because if they start accidentally in your living room or in your office, I don't think that's a good idea. So please don't put the propellers on the Inspire 1 when you do some maintenance in your office. Okay, so let's start with the first point, and the first point is we have to charge the battery and we have to charge the remote control. Therefore comes a charger, and the charger has 2 outlets. These are the 2 outlets of the charger. One outlet, this one is for the remote control, and the other one is for the flight battery. So we start with the one for the remote control, put the charger in the power, and here we are. And please only charge one item at a time. So not charge the battery and the remote control together. Charge them at a separate time. So first we start with the remote control and move the copter a little bit away so we get a better picture here from the second camera. So at the side of the remote control we have this connector here. We remove the rubber plug, or how you say, and then put in the power outlet of the charger, and you have to put this completely in. If you don't put it and it's only like this, the remote won't charge, so you have to put it quite in, and then you will see here the lights, and the lights say yes, we charge. There are 4 LEDs, and the battery is fully charged when they stop flashing, and the 4th light is also full, or how do you say? So when all the lights are stop flashing, then the remote control is fully charged. I want to take this off because I want to show you now how to charge the flight battery. We have 2 different flight batteries. This one is TB47, the one with 4500 milliampere hours, and then we have a second one with 5700 milliampere hours. They both charge exactly the same way, so there's absolutely no difference. When we look on the top of the battery, you see these 4 lights here and the button. So if you press the button, you will see how full the battery is charged. Now we have 2 lights still on, so the battery is half full. If there's only 1 light, battery is almost empty, and just before you start your flight you should see all the 4 lights on, and so the battery is fully charged and you can use it for your next flight. Okay, to charge the battery, turn around, and you see we have here at this side we have 2 connectors there, and in these 2 connectors comes the power outlet, there is a small hole here, and you remove the cap, and then you put this one in the battery. There's only one way you can put it in, so it's the only way you can put it in is like this, and that's it. So the power is in, and when we look at the top of the battery, you will see exactly the same like on the remote control. The LEDs are flashing, and when the battery is fully charged, you will see one more, and when the force is flashing and then it's off, the battery is completely full. So you can see this very easy when you charge your battery. When you see nothing is on, there's no light anymore, then the battery is fully charged. So I will stop this now, because we want to go further with our assembly. When the battery is fully charged, and that's very important that the battery is fully charged before you make the software update, so please charge the battery completely. And when the battery is fully charged, we have to put them in the copter, in the Inspire. And as you can see here, here is the battery compartment. And yes, there was one question in the internet, if these two connectors have a different length. These two here, yes, they have a different length, a little bit difficult to see. I think this way it's a little bit better to see. You see this one is longer than this one, and that's absolutely okay. So there's no problem with this. They have a different length. So then we take the battery. There's only one way you can put the battery in, put it in, and when you put it a little bit in the beginning, you feel it goes a little bit harder, so you have to press it a little bit harder. You see it will stop in every position, it will not fall down, so you have to press or put it a little bit down, and then at the last point to get the connection to the copter, you have to snap it in like this, and you see when it's perfect in, when the battery is plain with the chassis of the copter, and there's no point here where you can feel. So that's the point when the battery is perfect in the copter. So that was the battery. Now we come to the remote control. When we have the remote control, we have the two antennas. When you are in the flight later on, you have to put the antennas in a parallel position. I will show you in this way so you can see it very good. You have to put them in a parallel position, and when you turn the remote control a little bit more in this direction, you have to move the antenna that it points straight up in the sky. So the right position is when you hold the remote control in this way, in this angle, that the antennas go straight up and parallel. That's the optimum position for flying and to have the best connection to the copter. Next point, we have to move up the tablet holder. And one important thing, on the back side of the tablet holder, there's a cover, a plastic cover. When you put the remote control out of the box, all the remote control is covered with a plastic foil, which gives a protection during transportation. I have this one here on the back side, and I wondered why I cannot move up the holder. So take care that you remove these plastic part here on the back side. Turn it up like this, and then on the right side there is a button. Here is the button, and press the button and you will see that the top part slides out. That's the most way it can slide out, or the highest point it can slide out. So if you use a small device like an iPhone, you can use an iPhone, or you can use a iPad mini or a smaller device, then you have to turn out these two noses here, and then you can put in an iPhone like this and move down the slider till the iPhone is fixed. So that's the way you can use smaller devices. If you use, like me, in the first remote control for the pilot, there I want to have the big one. If I want to use the big one, put this one, move them in, and then we take our iPad, and you will see that the iPad Air with the smart cover don't fit in. It's too high. So yeah, they're missing some millimeters. I don't know why DJI did this. I think 1 or 2 centimeter more would give you the perfect fit for also bigger for bigger tablets, but it's so like it is. And so we have to remove the cover, turn the smartphone in this way. I love to have the connector here on this side, then put it in, and that's it. Put the top, press it firmly down so the iPad is fixed in the holder. Okay, so next point, we have to put in the cable, and usually you have these original cable from your iPad. This is very long, so I think it's a good idea to buy a shorter one. There are in the Amazon 30 centimeter lightning USB cables. But if you don't want to buy them, I show you a trick how you can fix this, because if you let this one loose here on the side, you can throw it out, or I think it's not very good. So there's a good idea to do it like this. So first, put the USB connector on the back side of the remote control in. So when we turn the remote control, we have here on the right side, we have the USB connector. If you look from this way on the left side, we have the USB connector. So put the cable there in, and then I move the cable straight up here to the arm or to the holder, and then turn it around several times. I don't know, I think 4 times. Yes, 4 times. Turn it around, and you see this is a little bit less thick, so there's no problem to put in the iPad again. Close it, and then we put in the cable here, the lightning cable, and so there's no cable flying around. There's no hazard that you can get in the cable. So I think this is a nice idea if you want to use the original cable. Okay, so the remote control is set, everything is fine, and now we have to hire the Inspire one to put the gimbal and the camera on the Inspire one. So that's what we have to do now, and therefore we have to start the remote control, and this you do by pressing the on-off switch 1 time and a second time directly after the first time, 1 and 2, and then you see that the lights here a little bit higher, and then you see that the lights here go on. I will do it again so you can see this again. Press 1 and 2, and then you will see the lights are on. You have the red light now, and the red light means that the remote control is not connected to the copter. So when we now turn on, or later on turn on the copter, you will see that this light goes green. That's the signal that the remote control is connected to the copter. Now we start the DJI app. The DJI app, now we can start here. So let's go for yes. It says, do you trust the computer? Yes, I do. I trust the computer. And now we start the DJI Pilot app. That's the DJI Pilot app. And now we start the DJI Pilot app. That's what the app look like. and then we go to the point camera, and now we have to turn on the copter because otherwise we cannot hire the copter and let him out of the transport position, and therefore we have to start the copter, and we do it exactly the same way like the remote control. Press once, press second, and then you will see that the copter starts. You see the lights flashing here on the back side. That means that the copter is warming up, and as I said before, it takes a second, and we have the green light here on the remote control which says connection between the copter and the remote control is okay. So now we have two options to hire the copter. The first option is with the landing gear switch. That's the switch for the landing gear, and if you toggle this one 4 times, the copter will go up. 1, 2, 3, 4, and as you can see, the Inspire goes up. That's the first option, and exactly the same way you lower the Inspire. 1, 2, 3, 4. And as you can see, the copter goes in the transport position. The second option to do this is you go here to the app, we have to close this, go to the home, not home, go to the mode button, sorry for this, and then in the menu you will find the 2 points, enter travel mode and exit travel mode. Exit travel mode is that what we want to have, so press this and the copter will go up, and here we are. Next point is we have to put the gimbal and the camera here on the copter, and therefore we have to turn off the copter, and this works exactly the same way how you start the copter. Press the button once, twice, the light goes down, and that's it. And if you wonder, yes, it takes like 2 or 3 seconds till the copter is completely off. So don't wonder if the copter runs a little bit after you have switched the copter off or the Inspire off. So that's absolutely normal. It's not like pressing and then it's off. It takes like, I think 2 or 3 seconds till the copter is completely off. So now let's have a look at the gimbal. This is the gimbal, and when we open this, you will see here we have the gimbal, we have the ND filter, which I explained in my first video, and for me, because I want to use the microsd card in my MacBook, I need this microsd adapter to put it in the SD slot of my MacBook, and so that's the reason why I put the adapter directly here in the gimbal box, so I can't lose it and I have it always with me. So now move the gimbal out of the box. Here is the gimbal. You've seen this in my first video, and on top of the gimbal we have this protection cap, and we have to remove this cap, and when we have removed the cap you will see there are the connectors, and these are the connectors where the signal and everything is transmitted between the camera and the copter. So let's remove the gimbal to the side here, and now we have to take care of the Inspire. Here on the front of the Inspire you see there is the place where the gimbal comes in, and there's a switch here, you can see this, or a lever, you can see this, and on this ring here there are 2 symbols, one symbol unlock and one symbol for lock, and now we have to use here on the side is the unlock symbol, and now we have to turn this to the right side, and when we've turned it to the right side the cap goes off. We have the cap in your hand, and then we take the gimbal, and you see here on the front side, you see here a white line, and you see on the gimbal also these white small line, and these two parts we move together, put the gimbal in the holder, and then turn the lever to the left side, and that's it. Very easy, very fast. So right side open and remove, and then it comes in, white line to white line, move it to the left side, and that's it. Okay, so everything is fine. The gimbal is on the copter. Take care that the lens here is clear of dust and dirt, so clean the lens. If you have a towel, or if on mine are some fingerprints, you can see this here, there are some fingerprints, so clean this before you fly, because it's very it's not nice when you make your flights and you will see all the fingerprints or some dots in the picture. Okay, so let's turn around the copter, start it again because remote control is still on. So let's start the copter. Here we are. The gimbal turns around 330 degrees in the one direction, 330 degrees in the other direction, and then it goes to the straight point. Okay, usually when you have done this, you will see on your remote control, and you will see in the display, you will see that the Pilot app says you have to make a software update or firmware update, and you have to do this in 3 days, otherwise the copter will be locked. The copter will not be locked, but the copter is waiting for the firmware update, so you have to do this then after the 3 days before you can start the copter. So you have to make the firmware update when the Pilot app says please make the firmware update. And that's, I want to show you how the firmware update works and how to do the firmware update. Okay, so we can let the remote control and the app, we can let them running. Turn off the copter. And then on the side of the camera, you see there is the slot for the microsd card. And this one we have to take out. Take out the microsd card. Remove the copter a little bit more because I need some space for the MacBook. Here we are. So, and then you need the microsd adapter if you don't have a card reader for microsd cards, and then you put the microsd card here in the adapter, in the SD card adapter. So, next point is we have to go to the DJI homepage. This is the DJI homepage, and on the DJI homepage you have to go to the point products, and then we have to go to the Inspire, and on the Inspire page we have to go to the downloads section. And in the download sections we have here on top the Inspire 1 firmware version 1.2.0.16, that's the actual version we have to install, and we have here how to update the firmware. There are some tips how you update. I will show you how this will work. So then we have to go here to download the zip file. When you downloaded the zip file on your computer, then you have to unpack the zip file. And if you have unpacked the zip file, you will find this one here. That's the firmware version with the file ending says .bin. Binary file, that's the firmware version you need. Now you put in the micro SD card in your SD card reader and copy the file, the bin file. You copy the bin file to the root directory of the Inspire. So if you go to the Inspire, I named it Inspire, you will find a directory called dsim. That's the directory for the pictures, but that's not the place where you have to copy the bin file. You have to copy the bin file to the root directory. I can show you. You have to copy this one to the root directory. So grab this one and move it. Sorry, it's a little bit difficult here. Move it directly to the root directory here and not into the dsim ordner. If you have done this, pull the card out, and before you stop or before you close your computer, take a USB stick. Take the USB stick, put the USB stick in your reader, and make exactly the same you have done before with to the USB stick. So copy the binary file to the USB stick, because you need the USB stick to update the remote control. The remote control has no micro SD or SD card slot, so you have to update this with the USB stick. You can connect the camera and the remote control, but I don't think that's a good idea. I think everybody has a USB stick at home, and so please use this one. You see the file is only 7.1 megabytes, so it's enough to use a small USB stick. 1 gigabyte is way enough, so please copy the binary file to the USB stick, and then we put it out. That's it. So we don't need the MacBook not anymore. Now we take out the micro SD card out of the SD card reader, put this one here in the Inspire, in the camera, turn on the Inspire, to remove this stuff here, turn on the Inspire, and as you have turned on, oops, too fast, and if you have turned on the Inspire, it takes some seconds, and then you will see on the display that the software will start. I have to stop this now because I have done this before, and so I don't have to copy the firmware again. I have to move out the card now. But if you do this, you will see the message here on the iPad. I can show you how this looks like, or should look like. This should look like, here we are, we have the photos, and you will see that's the way it looks. Upgrading, please wait. So that's the message you will get, and then it takes some time, and when it's ready it says update completed. The aircraft will restart in 2 seconds. So that's the way it works. It takes some time, so it takes about 10, 15, 20 minutes. So don't worry, it takes a lot of time to update. You will see that the lights flashing around, and you will see some beeping and stuff like this. And you have the control here on your iPad or on your tablet PC, so you can check if the firmware update works perfect. To control if the firmware update is perfect, you can move out the microSD card, put it again in the computer, and there you will see that there is a TXT file, and when you open the TXT file, it says complete, or it says I think erase. Everything which is not mean that's an error, that's okay. I had on mine, I don't know if erase or something like this. That means that's the message on the iPad which says you have to update the Inspire one, that this message, I think it's cancelled. Yes, I think it's cancelled. And that means that this message is cancelled, so it will not come on when you start the app. So that's why it says cancelled here. But I think there are also messages like complete, and then it's also fine. The only thing is error. That's not good. Then you have to start the firmware update again. Okay, so now we come to the remote control. Now we switch the remote control off, press the button twice. Then we have to pull out the USB cable, and at the same port we use our USB stick, put the USB stick in, and then just turn on the remote control. I have done this before. Turn on the remote control and you will see here a blue light flashing, or a blue light, I don't know if it's flashing, but you will see the blue light which says yes, the firmware update is working. It's a little bit faster than on the Inspire 1. I think it takes 2 to 5 minutes in this area. And then after everything is fine, you will see lights are off and the remote control starts automatically, and that's it. Remove the stick, and exactly the same like on the Inspire you have here on the USB stick, so I can show how this will look like. So if we put the USB stick here in and have a look on the files, you will see that here is the bin and here is a text file, and when you open the text file it says result success. That's okay. The same here, if you have success here, everything except error or incomplete or stuff like this, everything else is fine, and the update was perfect. Okay, so everything is set. We have the remote control updated, we have the copter updated, we have installed the gimbal, and we can come to the next step. And in the next step I will explain you the remote control and what you can do with the remote control, and the different connectors and stuff like this. So that will come up in my next video. So at this point, thank you for watching me. If you like my video, please give me a like, subscribe to my channel, leave a message, and yes, I think you will look to my next video, which comes up with the functions of the remote control. So thank you for watching me, and as always I say, have a nice flight, bye and moin moin.